Mike Cortez here at Texas Beer Guide. We're in Dripping Springs, Texas to get a sneak peek at the brand new Twisted X Brewery, which opens next month in November. So let's go inside, meet with the guys, and see what's going on. So I'm here with Shane and Jim with Twisted X Brewing Company to talk a little bit about the brewing. So tell me about how this came about.
Yeah, so we've been commercially selling beer for about 2 years. We originally opened a place up in Cedar Park. Jim's been homebrewing for what?
Forever and ever.
And we kind of got together. I got late stage, kind of got with Jim. Jim and I used to work together in high tech, and got together, started homebrewing in his garage for a long time, and then finally figured out that we wanted to go do this thing commercially. Opened up our first place, a little small pilot brewery out in Cedar Park, which we ran kind of nights and weekends, and got our beer up on the market, and probably servicing 10 or 15 bars in Austin, and ran that for a while, finally getting the idea and the funding together to kind of build our new place, which we're at today, which is out in Dripping Springs. And we're moving from a 3-barrel system to a 30-barrel system, so finally we'll have at least enough beer to go around now for a little while.
So tell me about the beers you guys are actually brewing.
Yeah, we're doing what we call Tex-Mex beer. We originally got the idea, part of your question there probably as well, was we were talking to some investors originally about doing a brew pub, and they were going to do a Mexican food restaurant, and we thought a Mexican brew pub would be an excellent idea, make some lagers to serve with Tex-Mex food. And I think it's still a good idea. Somebody should probably steal that and do it. And when we started talking to TABC and realized that you can only sell your beer to the public at your pub and not distribute it anywhere, we didn't want to have to open a bunch of restaurants as we wanted to expand, so we went the manufacturing side of it anyway. But we decided that the beer idea along that line was something that we hadn't had before. Mexican-style lagers with a Texas flair, jalapenos and prickly pears and stuff like that. So we started with a lighter and a darker lager, a light like Modelo, Tecate kind of a beer, and then on the darker side, a Vienna lager like a Negra Modelo. So Twisted X is our premium lager, and Cow Creek is our Vienna-style lager or darker lager.
So you wanted to take the traditional Mexican-style beers, but give it a nice craft Texas oomph to it.
Yes, exactly. A good example, our lighter lager that you've been sampling there, we use about 10% of the grain bill is corn from Richardson Farms. So we're buying some corn from a local farmer and using that in our product.
So keeping everything local, Texas.
So trying to get as much of it here as possible, yeah. And recently, Jim Richardson turned me on to a local maltster that's starting up around here. I'm going to start buying barley from Texas as well. So it'll be nice to try and source as much as possible here local. But yeah, do the craft flavor to it, you know. A little more head retention, a little more flavor to it, but still be light, crisp, and drinkable.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you guys have really great beers here. So let's go over the lineup you got here. You've got the Twisted X.
Yep. Twisted X is the premium lager. Cow Creek is the dark lager. Fuego is a jalapeno pilsner. Siesta is, that's telling me the mash is over. Let me stop that. We'll get back to the mash in a minute. Siesta is our prickly pear lager, which we take our Twisted X, our light lager, and ferment with some prickly pear juice in it. Prickly pears that we pick locally here in Texas. Chupahopra is our IPA. IPA is not necessarily a Tex-Mex lager,
Not usually.
but I'm a hophead and I like that. So Chupahopra, we took the Chupacabra thought and threw some hop at it. So, and then the beer that we're making right now is Senior Viejo. It's an Imperial Schwartz beer or a black lager that we then tequila oak age, and we're going to do some firkin stuff with that, some vanilla beans, and all kinds of fun stuff there as well. And we've got 2 or 3 other ideas that we've been playing with, but we need to get this thing up and running, and then we'll use our little pilot system that we brought down with us to make some one-off batches of some of the other ideas that we have. We just hadn't been able to do it yet.
So I know that you said you have future talks of brewing different things. Is there anything you can give us a little sample of what you were thinking?
Probably the first seasonal that we have is actually a holiday. We made it last year. We didn't get label approval in time to get it out on the market. So it is a Dunkelweiss. Sorry, my brain went blank there for a minute. It's a Dunkelweiss with roasted pecans and raspberries.
That sounds delicious.
So,
very awesome. So real quick, let me talk about the labels, the artwork. The artwork is really neat. It's very unique. and it symbolizes Twisted X. I like the style. It's got a Latin flair to it. Where did the inspiration for that come from?
Yeah, I think we wanted to do something to help celebrate that, the growing Tex-Mex subculture. So we kind of wanted to be subtle. If you look at the logo, kind of from left to right, there's a white star, which is significant of kind of the Lone Star state of Texas. Three white bands on the other side, which really signifies more the Mexican flag. But again, keep it subtle. But as far as the artwork goes, we have a great artist, ex-tattoo artist. His name's Josh Rowan, and he did all of our artwork, including our main logo. And the goal really is to kind of keep it a little tattooy, a little more edgy, but also celebrate kind of that Dia de los Muertos feel. And that's really where we're headed.
Very awesome. So you guys here have got a 30 barrel now, and I heard you guys are talking about getting a bottling line going too.
We are, yeah. So here we have, we're jumping from the 3 barrel system with just a couple of 3 barrel fermenters. We're brewing 90 gallons a time before, but now we're jumping up Tuesday. We kick up the 30 barrel system that we have here. We have 4 60 barrel fermenters and a bright tank. Here in March, we'll be adding another row of 4 120s and a bright tank, and hopefully have that point really be able to move beyond kind of the central Texas market. Austin and San Antonio will be big markets for us, but we definitely want to head down to the Valley area, Laredo, down over to Houston, down over into Dallas as well. So the bottling line will kick up kind of late November-ish, somewhere when we feel comfortable, and hopefully be on the stores at H-E-B's, Whole Foods, and some specs. So you can actually find 12-ounce long neck and 6-packs for 4 of our production beers.
Very great. So real quick, what's one of your favorite beers on your line?
Probably the one we're making right now, the Senior Viejo, just because it's a little crazy. You get a dark lager, it's about 8.5%, so it's a high alcohol black lager, and then you get some tequila flavor, you get some oak flavor. The tequila barrels were used for whiskey the first time, so you get a little bit of that in there. It's a nice beer. I like it.
What about yourself, Sean?
I think mine would probably be Fuego. Jim and I tasted a whole bunch of different chili beers out on the market. Went to the Great American Beer Festival, kind of tasted them all. Some of them kind of blew your mouth out. Where worst thing a brewery can do is make a beer that you want to drink one of.
Yeah.
So we took a Pilsner, we kind of bumped up the alcohol content, a little bit higher hop content to be able to handle the flavor of the jalapeno, but we wanted you to taste all Pilsner and just kind of creep up on the back of your throat, a little warmth. So that's really our jalapeno Pilsner we have called Fuego.
So I guess it kind of goes without saying, you guys can agree that your beer is made for good Tex-Mex food.
Oh yeah. I think the food pairing side, it's an easy hit with any Mexican style restaurant, or I think even Roadhouse or Steakhouse would be pretty good. So
definitely. Well, again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out with me, and I wish you guys all the luck. And they're opening up officially in November, so stay tuned to their website for all the details and when they do their launch party, and follow Twisted X Brewing Company. These guys are great here, and check out the Texas beer. Cheers.
Thanks. Thank you.